was a storybook ending for the ages to the 2015 Home Run Derby. Todd Frazier becoming only the second player ever to win the title in front of his home fans. And it was that same crowd that helped launch him to victory. They say seeing is believing. Well, I saw it, and I still don't believe it. Minster hasn't been to a state championship game since 1989. That year, they won it all. This year, they're back thanks to 2 one-point wins in the playoffs already this season. And of course, in typical fashion, Wildcats head coach Jaron Stokes rocking the shorts despite the rain and cold weather. Well, they say everything is bigger in Texas, and when you look at these massive football players around me, that's certainly true. Fans have waited a long time for a college football playoff. Had to wait a year for these massive football players to be made in Florida and then shipped to Texas. Well, I'm at FanFest right now, and we're about to check out everything that there is for fans to do. Dayton was only picked in less than 4% of many major online bracket selections. Even beyond that, 0.4% of people on ESPN.com had UD playing Stanford, so it's clear this is a matchup of Cinderella squads. Tri-Village's basketball team is undefeated and the #1 ranked team in Division IV. The Patriots are in search of the program's first state championship, but this year they've been on a mission for Mitch, a 2008 graduate of Tri-Village High School.
Mitch is a true inspiration. It's unreal that they can all come together for something like this.
Puts into perspective that everything's really not about basketball for us, although it may seem like it.
Mitch McCabe has battled cancer for almost 2 years, and this season, the Tri-Village basketball team joined the fight, helping in any way possible.
I was a little hesitant to start asking for help, but in doing treatment, you realize that you're hurting people more when you don't let them help. Because everybody just wants to do something. They want to know, what can we do to help you? Anything, tell us what to do.
When the On a Mission for Mitch campaign started, the objective was simple: beat cancer. But they also had to set a goal for how much money they hoped to raise.
They set their goal at $20,000 originally, and to me, that seemed like a huge stretch.
They've raised that much several times over the course of this season, and it's not just Tri-Village, but communities from Winchester, Indiana, to schools in Tri-Village's conference, like Franklin Monroe and Miami East, have been stepping up in a big way, showing their support.
It's been overwhelming, and it's become so much bigger. It's brought this community together. We were just blown away by all the support that we've gotten.
But even with the support, Mitch continues to fight the inoperable cancer. With plenty of ups and downs over the last few years, the lowest point came last May.
Most difficult would be saying that you're in remission to 3 months later saying you're back in full force.
When it came back, actually the second time, there were times when they said, okay, it could be 6 weeks, it could be 6 months, it could be a year. Because at one point, he was like on 100% oxygen, and they put him in ICU for a while. So some of those times it was pretty tough, thinking, okay, how much longer I'm going to have him with me.
Through it all, Mitch fights, and he does it with a smile on his face.
It's unreal how much fight he has in him. I wish I had half that much fight in me.
Definitely my hero. He's always been upbeat.
He always worries about the other people before himself, and it takes a strong person to do that and put other people before him in that situation.
To see this happen to anyone other than me would almost crush me. If I had to watch my brother, I couldn't watch him go through it. There's no possible way.
Through this fight, Mitch has become a hero to his family, friends, and even total strangers.
I'm not here to be a hero. I'm not, trying to be somebody's inspiration, but if it's helping other people, that's what I want to do.
Mitch is continuing his fight against cancer. In Tri-Village, they're 2 wins away from winning a state championship and finishing off the perfect season. All you have to do is go to any social media site, whether it's Twitter or Facebook, and fans are clamoring for head coach Marvin Lewis to be fired. And it's because of those 6 playoff losses that you talked about, but also in the second half of those games, the Bengals have only scored 13 points. And in 4 of those 6 games have been shut out completely in the second half. Now, despite all of this, Lewis said he expects to be back next season. Come to you live from the Cintas Center. Welcome in. I'm James Ryder here for the site of the Division I regional semifinal games. And One of the big ones of the night, it was Centerville and Wayne. Anytime these two schools get together, there's a lot on the line, but perhaps not more so than tonight. Not only does the winner win the season series, but also earns a spot in the regional final to be among the last 8 teams in the state. What do NBA great Shaquille O'Neal, Daryl Dawkins, and then Miamisburg's Connor Brown have in common? Well, they've all broken a backboard on slam dunks. In last night's 80-61 win over Lebanon, Brown missed a free throw and then followed it up with a slam that shattered the backboard. Now, this was a new backboard that got broken, and today it was already removed. But last night, in the final 4+ minutes, they had to move over to the school's auxiliary gym to finish the game, and it was one play that the Vikings won't soon forget. And while local guys Taylor Decker and Michael Bennett were some of the biggest contributors to this team, there's still several guys next year that could step up, whether it's a Cam Burrows from Trotwood or even Robert Landers as a true freshman from Wayne could impact another title run for the Buckeyes. In AT&T Stadium, I'm James Ryder. Marion Local has been a buzzsaw. 36 straight wins, 3 consecutive state championships, and the Flyers are winning games by an average of 37 points per contest this year, and that's with a running clock. No game's been closer than 20 points, and it was clear early today that nothing could stop the Flyers. On January 19th, Bellberg Jr. Payne Sigmund was in a car accident, which has left him in a coma. Upon hearing the news, his teammates feared the worst.
I've been best friends with Payne Sigmund for 12 years, since kindergarten. I've been playing basketball with him in sports since the 3rd grade and even before that. So I thought I lost my best friend.
After learning about his condition, the team was faced with a very difficult decision of whether or not to play with their friend in the hospital.
Basketball becomes very irrelevant at that point.
It's been hard. The first few days, I didn't really feel like playing basketball. I was just kind of down.
I was definitely ready to play. I wanted to play for him and play with my guys in honor of him.
The Golden Eagles haven't missed a game, and not only has the community come out to support the team, every opponent has worn shirts during warm-ups to show their support as well.
It is so huge, and it's just crazy.
It's amazing to see just how much everybody cares, just for one individual.
Teams can put rivalries aside and realize that there's something more important than the game. It's nice to have something different to think about, because I know a lot of these guys spent a lot of time down at the hospital.
While Bellbrook was trying to capture a conference championship, the season has taken on a new significance.
There's a new meaning behind playing sport basketball for me now, just a new meaning to life. So now playing is just playing and putting all I have on the court for him, for what he would give and for what I would give. So I got to do 200% better.
And that's because every day and every game, the team is playing for Payne.
We have his jersey on the bench every single game, so I sit right next to him just like I would.
It's tough, but I feel him in spirit. We have his jersey, and we know he's with us. He's a fighter, and he'll definitely make it through this.
In Bellbrook, James Ryder, Fox 45 News.
We're standing outside the infamous Anchor Bar right here in Buffalo, New York. They are known for their buffalo wings. In fact, they invented the buffalo wing.
Well, and what's better for tournament food, watching games, than eating some buffalo wings?
Exactly. I love buffalo wings. I'm super obsessed with them. So, I mean, I'm going to eat a lot. Are you going to eat a lot?
I'm going to eat a whole buffalo's worth. I'm James Ryder, coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky, the site of where history was made. I was on hand to watch the Dayton Flyers women's basketball team earn their first ever trip to the Sweet 16, and they did it in unbelievable fashion, jumping out to a 9-point lead 7 minutes into the game, only to see Kentucky rally and take an 8-point lead in the first half, and the Wildcats led most of the way in this one. However, UD never gave up. They never quit, fighting back, taking the lead late in the game, and able to pull out the victory. It was an absolute thriller. It was 99-94, as you can see the final score right here. Ali Malat led the way with 28 points, Aberdeen chipping in 23. Kelly Austria had 17 points. I'll have the highlights for you coming up tonight at 11 on ABC 22, but after the game, I caught up with the team for their first ever time to say that they're going to the Sweet 16. It was a storybook ending for the ages to the 2015 Home Run Derby. Todd Frazier becoming only the second player ever to win the title in front of his home fans. And it was that same crowd that helped launch him to victory.
Big time impact. Just hearing the crowd roar, call my name, adrenaline. And those last minutes of each round, really picked me up and, drive the ball to the park a lot more. Bringing this hardware home is something I've always wanted to do. It's an unbelievable feeling. Right now I'm pretty exhausted, so my energy level is not that high as it was earlier, but it is. Once I wake up in the morning and understand really what happened, it's going to be exciting to see this in my house.
Frazier called this one of the top 5 moments of his career, and he wasn't about to let it slip through his fingers like last year when he finished second in the Derby.
I had some unfinished business last year. I put up a poor showing at the end, and he hit 14. And I was thinking, honestly, this is the truth. I was thinking 14. That's Pete Rose. I can't let him down. And that's all I did.
It was one of the best home run derbies in recent memory, and quite possibly ever. And if the All-Star Game is anything close to what the Home Run Derby provided, we are in for one heck of a treat tonight at Great American Ballpark. In Cincinnati, I'm James Ryder. Back to you.